Thinking about buying a high-mileage Porsche but worried about its future value? Or perhaps you're selling one and dreading the depreciation hit? The truth about Porsche mileage and its impact on your investment is far more complex than you've ever imagined. Get ready to rethink everything you thought you knew. Today, we're tackling one of the biggest debates in the Porsche community. Does high mileage really kill your car's value? If you've ever scrolled through listings and skipped over that 100,000-mile 911 because it seemed too risky, this video is for you. We'll unpack the myths, look at real data, and show you how to turn high mileage into a smart investment. Stick around till the end for some pro tips on future-proofing your Porsche purchase. We're going to cover everything from the origins of the high mileage stigma to engineering advancements, depreciation curves, key value drivers, and strategies for buying and owning these incredible machines. By the time we're done, you'll see high mileage Porsches in a whole new light. Let's start by unpacking the conventional wisdom around high mileage and Porsches. For decades, the car world has hammered home this idea. High mileage equals low value, especially for luxury performance cars like Porsches. It's like an unwritten rule. The higher the odometer, the lower the price tag, right? But where did this perception come from? Let's dig in deeper to understand its roots and why it's persisted for so long. First off, a lot of it stems from dealership narratives. Dealerships love pushing new or low mileage cars because that's where the big margins are. They'll tell you stories about how a car with 50,000 miles is just breaking in, but anything over 100,000 is a money pit waiting to happen. This sales tactic has been around since the early days of automotive retail, where emphasizing freshness helps move inventory faster. And then there's the collector mentality. Porsche enthusiasts, especially those into air-cooled classics like the 356 or early 911s, treat these cars like museum pieces. They garage them, polish them, and drive them sparingly to preserve that pristine status. Mileage becomes a badge of neglect rather than use, almost like a scarlet letter in collector circles. But there's an emotional side to this too. Owning a Porsche isn't just about transportation, it's about the thrill, the status, the engineering masterpiece under the hood. The fear of wearing out such a luxury performance car is real. Imagine pouring your heart and wallet into a 911 only to watch its value plummet because you actually enjoyed driving it. It's like buying a fine wine and being afraid to open it. This fear drives people to low-mileage examples, inflating their prices and devaluing the driven ones. Psychologically, we associate high miles with potential breakdowns, higher maintenance costs, and a shorter lifespan, even if the data doesn't always support it. Take a look at online forums. Reddit threads are full of people asking if 80,000 miles is too high for a 991 Carrera. The consensus is, it depends, but the stigma is there. One user noted that above 50,000 miles, values start dropping, and over 100,000, they tank. Yet, is this based on facts or just perception? Spoiler, it's more myth than reality, especially with modern Porsches. We'll get to that next. This myth has real consequences. It scares off buyers from perfectly good cars, creating bargains for those in the know. But to bust it wide open, we need to talk about how Porsches are built today and explore some historical context. Historically, older Porsches from the 1960s and 1970s did have more issues with high mileage due to less advanced materials and engineering. Air-cooled engines could overheat, and parts weren't as durable. But as we'll see, that's changed dramatically. The myth persists because stories of failures get amplified while success stories of high milers go unnoticed. For instance, in the 1980s, when Porsches became status symbols, low-mileage garage queens became the norm among wealthy owners who had multiple cars. This further entrenched the idea that driving your Porsche too much was a bad investment. Today, with social media, we see polished low-mileage examples more often, reinforcing the bias.
Okay, if you're still clinging to the idea that Porsches are fragile flowers that wilt after 50,000 miles, let's shatter that with some engineering facts and real-world stories. Modern Porsches are built like tanks, performance tanks that is. Gone are the days of finicky air-cooled engines prone to overheating or oil leaks. Today's models, from the 991 era onward, feature water-cooled power plants, advanced materials, and rigorous testing that make them last far beyond their predecessors. Let's break this down step by step. Take the engineering advancements. Porsche uses high-strength alloys, precision machining, and electronic systems that monitor everything from oil pressure to tire wear in real time. The 992 911, for instance, has a turbocharged flat six that's not only powerful, but incredibly durable. These cars are tested on the Nürburgring, in extreme climates like the Arctic Circle and Death Valley, and simulated for hundreds of thousands of miles before they hit the showroom. Porsche's commitment to quality means components like transmissions and suspensions are over-engineered for longevity. The PDK dual-clutch transmission, for example, is designed to handle high torque without faltering, and modern engines use synthetic oils that extend service intervals. Now, for reliability data, let's look at real-world examples. J.D. Power's Vehicle Dependability Study consistently ranks Porsche high. The 911 series scores great for reliability, with owners reporting fewer issues than average luxury brands. The Macan and Cayenne SUVs are no slouches either, often praised for their longevity. One owner on a forum shared their 2014 Cayenne hitting 214,000 miles with the original drivetrain, just regular maintenance at the dealer. High-mileage success stories abound. There's Bill McEachern and his 1976 911 Turbo, over 725,000 miles, daily driven through Canadian winters, track days, and everything in between. Or his later 930 with 800,000 miles and 660 horsepower. These aren't outliers. Forums are filled with 997s and 991s pushing 200,000 miles without major overhauls. One guy bought a 997 sight unseen at auction, highest mileage in the US, and it drove flawlessly. Another iconic example is Guy Newmark's 1954 Porsche 356C, which has clocked over 1 million miles since he bought it new, with daily drives to his hot dog stand in Los Angeles. Then there's a Panamera that reached 1 million kilometers, about 621,000 miles, and went in for its service still running strong. A 996 Turbo with 747,000 miles, and a 996 Carrera with 357,000 miles, both testament to Porsche's build quality. Even a one-owner 911 Turbo from 1975 with 779,000 miles, equivalent to 3 trips to the moon. On Twitter, owners share their stories. One drove 3,500 miles in a week with a 911, another put 200,000 miles on a 993 Turbo himself. A Taycan owner just hit 30,000 miles and calls it the best car ever. These anecdotes show that with care, Porsches thrive on miles. But here's the key. Maintenance matters more than miles. A well-serviced 100,000-mile Porsche trumps a neglected 20,000-mile one every time. Regular oil changes, timing belt replacements where applicable, and addressing minor issues prevent big problems. Neglect a low miler, and seals dry out, batteries die, and rust creeps in from sitting. In fact, driven Porsches often run better because fluids circulate and components stay lubricated. So if you're eyeing a high miler, prioritize service records over the odometer. Experts recommend annual inspections, even if mileage is low, to catch issues early. With that durability in mind, let's challenge those depreciation curves and see how mileage really affects value over time. Depreciation, the silent killer of car values. For Porsches, it's not a straight line, it's a curve, and understanding it can save you thousands. The steepest drop happens in the initial miles. Why? New cars lose 20 to 30% in the first year alone as they go from new to used. For a 911, that could be $20,000 to $30,000 off MSRP just driving off the lot. This initial hit is due to factors like warranty starting, perceived newness fading, and market saturation. But here's where it gets interesting. After about 20 to 30,000 miles, the curve flattens for many models. The 911 in particular has one of the lowest depreciation rates, just 19.5% over 5 years, topping lists. Models like the 991 Carrera hold value well beyond 50,000 miles. One estimate, $3,000 depreciation per 10,000 miles between 20 to 80,000. Steeper at the start and end, but in the middle, not so bad. For example, a 2020 911 depreciated $30,432 or 25% in 3 years. GT models like the GT3 often appreciate, defying norms. Finding the plateau means looking for when mileage stops hammering value. For 718s, around 40,000 to 50,000 miles, prices stabilize.
A 718 GTS 4.0 with 47,000 miles depreciated only $0.5 per mile over time. Turbo models show low depreciation. A 992 Turbo loses $2.36 per mile early, but stabilizes. Overall, Porsches depreciate 25% in 3 years, better than most luxury brands. Hidden gems? High-mileage, undervalued Porsches. A 3.2 Carrera with 160,000 plus miles might scare buyers, but if maintained, it's a steal. Or a 987 Boxster, reliable flat six, fun to drive, often overlooked due to the miles, but durable when serviced. Models like the Cayman or Panamera can be bargains at high miles, with V8s proving reliable. Enthusiast cars hold value between 20,000 and 50,000 miles, but beyond that, if condition is top-notch, the drop isn't as severe as feared. To illustrate, tools like Kelley Blue Book and Edmunds show that for a Porsche, mileage is one factor, but age and condition weigh heavier after the initial drop. In a strong economy, even high milers retain more value. If you're finding this valuable and rethinking that high-mileage Porsche, hit that like button right now. It really helps the channel. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into Porsche ownership, maintenance tips, and market trends. While you're at it, drop a comment below. What's the highest mileage Porsche you've owned or driven, and how's it held up? Share your stories. I read every one. All right, back to it. Miles aren't everything. Let's talk what really drives value in detail.
Mileage is just a number. Condition is king. Paint, interior, mechanical integrity, these are paramount. A scratched up, worn interior low miler will fetch less than a pristine high miler. Check for rust, panel gaps, and upholstery tears. Mechanically, listen for odd noises. Check brakes, suspension, and engine health. Exterior condition affects appeal. A fresh paint job or protected clear coat can add thousands to resale. Service history is gold. Detailed records of proper care and preventative maintenance prove the car's been loved. One-owner cars with dealer stamps? Premium price. Without it, even low miles raise red flags. Records show if major services like IMS bearing replacements in older models were done, preventing costly failures. Desirability and rarity play huge roles. Specific models like the 911 GT3, manual transmissions, or rare options hold value regardless of miles. The Panamera or Cayenne might depreciate faster, but turbo variants buck the trend. Market conditions matter too. Strong economy, high demand boosts values. Age, market trends, and even color affect resale. Neutral colors like silver or black hold better than bold ones. Other factors. Ownership history. Fewer owners mean higher value. Modifications can hurt if not tasteful. Location plays a part. Rust Belt cars depreciate faster due to salt exposure. Current market trends like the rise of EVs make well-kept ICE Porsches more desirable. Focus on these and mileage becomes secondary. For instance, a high-mile GT car with rare specs can outperform a low-mile base model in resale. Armed with this knowledge, let's talk strategy in depth. Strategic buying means leveraging the mileage myth. Hunt for high milers with solid histories. Get a pre-purchase inspection, PPI, from a Porsche specialist. Sites like Renlist advise checking 12 key areas: brakes, coolant, over revs, etc. Buy the newest you can afford, even if miles are higher, as newer tech means better reliability. Look for one-owner cars or those from enthusiasts who document everything. Embrace the driven Porsche. These cars are meant to be enjoyed. Road trips, canyons, tracks. A garaged queen might appreciate more, but where's the fun? Drive it, maintain it, and it'll reward you. Owners report adding miles to classics like 933s and seeing values rise as rarity increases. Join clubs for tips on long-term care. Long-term, the market's shifting. With EVs rising, well-maintained ICE Porsches, even high mileage, are gaining appreciation. The stigma's fading as data shows durability. Consider extended warranties or specialist insurance for peace of mind. Sell when demand is high, like spring, and detail it professionally. In summary, high mileage isn't a death sentence for Porsche value. It's an opportunity if you know what to look for. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, and comment your mileage stories. See you in the next one.